Back. First thing I wanted to mention, I don't know if you got the email I just sent you, but there was a little bug in the version 2.1 set, which was the first one I emailed you today. I sent you a new version, which is now 2.2. That's what we're working with here in this session. I'll explain what the bug was in just a minute, but I'll jump right in and explain the click tracks right off the bat here. The purpose of this video is for you as well as your drummer to see how I've put the click tracks together and why there's more than one track, why you have your own and why the drummer has their own track, and what the difference is between the two. Hopefully you'll see that they're put together in a pretty flexible way, and I mean this only as a suggestion for how to approach this. I would love to get some feedback and dial in, you know, the grooves, the feels, the patterns, the sounds, whatever the case may be. So I'm going to first thing tick off the I/O tab, the S tab for the sends, and then the M tab for the mixer, so that we can get a little better idea of what's going on here. There are two new tracks. One is called W click, the other is called D click for Whitney and drummer click respectively. The old click is right next to them, and if you want to go back to it, you can just unmute that one and then mute the two new click tracks. But even if you're going to use the old click track, I would still recommend using the newer version 2.2 session because there are a couple enhancements that'll make it a little bit smoother than the old 2.0 session that you took home last week. Another thing you'll notice right away, I'll go back and unmute the new click tracks. The C and the D sends, which feed the headphones, C is in-ear 1 Whitney, D is in-ear 2 drums. The old click track is fed to both of those, but the new click tracks are only fed to one or the other. Whitney's only goes to the C send, which is in-ear 1 Whitney, and the drummer track only goes to the D send, so that it gets sent only to the in-ear 2 drums output. The reason I've done that is because the drummer, in theory anyway, is going to be covering some of the parts in the backing tracks that normally would provide the timing reference for you, Whitney, but with a live drummer playing with you, it's likely that you will mute some of those backing tracks. For instance, in Orange Sky, you might go in and mute the drum kit here just on the backing track channel. And you wouldn't have the timing reference that would normally be there. However, you'd be able to listen to the drummer playing the beat. So the drummer has a lot more going on in his or her click track over here than you do in yours, Whitney. And again, the reason for that is because I tried to only give you the minimum amount necessary to provide a timing reference so that you wouldn't get off, whereas the drummer themselves has to provide the timing reference. They have to be the timing reference, so they need a click that is more substantial and that goes throughout the entire song. So to illustrate what I'm talking about here, I will play back the intro of Drowned in Love, and in order to be able to hear what we're doing, I am going to temporarily change the routing on the two new click tracks. Instead of having them go to the sends only, which keeps them out of the audience and only in the headphones, I'm going to temporarily route them both to the master bus, just so that they'll be folded into the backing tracks and we can hear an approximation of what you'll be getting in your headphones. So I'll play the intro to... let's do Orange Sky here. I will play the 2-bar count-in and then the 4-bar intro to Orange Sky. And what we're going to be hearing here is what Whitney would hear in her headphones. We're also going to be hearing the actual backing track of the drum kit. Sorry, I know that was a little loud, quiet at first, but what happened was there was 2 bars of click and then the backing tracks for the drums came in. When the backing tracks for the drums came in, the click went away. Now that's a little bit different from what's going on over here with the drummer's click track, because the 2-bar count-in has a click, but then the 4-bar intro also has a click, because whoever's playing the drums is going to be playing that drum kit instead of the backing track doing that for the first 4 bars until we get into the first verse. So here's what it would sound like in the drummer's ears. And again, I will mute the... sorry about that. I'll mute the backing tracks. In Orange Sky, I'll mute the drum kit just for now. So now we're into the intro. 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, boom. And then we're right into the verse. So this is what the drummer's hearing. And this is what the audience and Whitney are hearing, because now Whitney can hear the drums. So the basic idea is throughout here that the drummer is going to be getting a lot more action in their headphones for the click track than Whitney is. She's only going to get what's necessary. Now, another point here is each one of these songs has different sounds for the click. I tried to not just use the same thing through all these. That's the most basic kick pattern or click pattern right there. But for Drowned in Love, I tried to do something a little bit groovier that would actually fit the feel of the song. So, sorry, we didn't have any volume there. Let me turn that back up. So I tried to find something that kind of fit the groove, you know, that played off of that dung, tom groove kind of thing. So that's what Whitney's getting. The drummer, however, same as Orange Sky, the click track is going to keep going after the toms come in. That gives you the opportunity, Whitney, if you want to mute the backing track of the toms and have the drummer play it, which I think is kind of a hipper sound. When we had Cliff playing over the top of the drums, it got a little bit chunky at times. But that's the basic idea. So Orange Sky, Drowned in Love, and Wake and Watch are all set up that way. I'll play you the intro for Wake and Watch, and we'll hear the drummer's click track. So again, I tried to find a rhythm and some sounds that would complement the song. And then we'll keep rocking for a while, and Whitney's click is still going in this one, by the way, but by the time we get to the second chorus, there's nothing going on in Whitney's click, but the drummer still has a click rocking here. So I think that'll be a lot more flexible of a setup. One more quick note that I wanted to mention here. The way that I programmed these, they're MIDI clips rather than audio clips, and they're just programmed rhythms, and I loaded a number of samples in here that I thought would be good choices, give us some good options. We have bongos, low and high, got a clave, wood block, and some other just percussive little sounds. Each song uses a different set of sounds that I thought complemented the rhythm of the song. But again, I'd love to get some feedback on what's feeling good, what's not feeling good, because it's very easy to take, you know, if we've got this part programmed in on that rhythm, it's as easy as just selecting the notes and changing the sound. So again, love to get some feedback on that. Feel free to play around with it if you want to. Worst thing that'll happen is you'll just have to go back and re-download the session file from the email. Okay, so one other thing I wanted to mention is crazy making is a little bit different. The click track for crazy making is exactly the same for Whitney as it is for the drummer. And the reason I did that is because the need for the click kind of comes and goes. There is some percussion in the song that is electronic percussion. It uses electronic drum machines and is unlikely to be something that you would replace completely with a drum kit and maybe mute the backing tracks or something. So for now, I kind of played that one the same way that I was normally playing Whitney's or setting up Whitney's click tracks, and that is the click's there when you need it, but when the song itself, when the electronic percussion in the backing tracks provides the timing reference that you need, the click track goes away. I'll play you briefly what it sounds like here. Again, tried to match the feel. But when we get into the pre-chorus and the chorus, it's there until the rest of the drums fall in. And then it goes away when the rest of the clapping and the stomping and all that comes in. So hopefully that makes sense. If you need to adjust the mixes here, the headphone mixes, you would do that over here with the C send for Whitney's mix and the D send for the drummer's mix. If you just need a little bit more of click overall, if the drummer needs a little bit more click or if you need a little bit more click, you can, if you want, just grab this channel fader here and push it up to +6. That'll give you an extra 6 decibels of gain out of there. But if anything's too loud or too quiet, or if in general the mix needs some adjustment, that's something that I'd like to know as well. Okay, so good luck tonight, guys, and please write down any questions you have and send them my way. Talk to you soon. Bye.